Hello, 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 ladies and gentlemen. The Durham report. It's finally out. And everybody's talking about it like it's the new Avengers movie. But let me tell you, it's more like the Justice League, the one no one really cared about. I mean, don't get me wrong, it's a big deal. The report was supposed to investigate the origin of the Russia probe and whether it was politically motivated. And we all know that's been a hot topic since Letterman and Jon Stewart were on TV. But the thing is, I'm not surprised by the finding. We all know the Democrats wanted to take down Trump. The Republicans wanted to take down Hillary. It's like when your parents are fighting over the couch after divorce. Nobody wins. The couch ends up on the curb. Let's not forget about the ties to Obama and Clinton. I mean, we all know they were involved some way or another. It's like a game of telephone we played as a kids. You whisper a message to one person, and by the time it gets to the last person, it's completely different. Except this time, it's totally opposite. The message was, let's take down Trump. And everybody heard it loud and clear. So what's going to happen now that this report is out? Probably nothing. I mean, it's not like anyone's going to jail over this. Maybe a few people will lose their jobs, but they'll end up with new ones in Washington. It's like that episode of The Office where Dwight became the boss for a day. It was chaotic. Nothing got done. But in the end, everybody goes back to their old jobs. And let's not forget, the Democrats control Congress and the White House now. So they're not going to investigate themselves. It's like expecting the fox to investigate what keeps happening to those chickens. Not going to happen. In the end, the Durham report is just another chapter in this never-ending saga of politics in America. It's a bad soap opera that never gets canceled. So sit back, get some popcorn, watch the drama, because ultimately, nothing's going to change. My name's Tom Coffey. This is the Coffee Nuance Show, the best censored commentary and news show live right now. Flame on. Yeah, thanks for joining me today on this May 16th. You can't see the 16 there because something in my system just keeps crashing. What are you going to do? My name's Tom Coffey, at Coffee and Nuance on all the social medias, and we're streaming live on YouTube and on Rumble, rumble.com/coffeenuance/live. Bookmark it. If you haven't signed up for Rumble yet, what are you doing? I got a link in the description. Just click that and sign up. But today, the big story that we're talking about is the Durham report. Special counsel John Durham, appointed by the Trump administration to investigate the Trump-Russia probe. It's released its report after a 3-year investigation. The report concluded that the FBI should not have launched a full-scale investigation into connections between Trump's campaign and Russia during the 2016 election. Durham criticized the FBI for using, quote, raw, unanalyzed, and uncorroborated intelligence, and applying a different standard when investigating concerns about Hillary Clinton's campaign. That's a shock. However, Durham did not recommend any new changes or major changes in how the FBI handles politically charged investigations. The report also suggests that certain personnel involved in the investigation had a predisposition to open the investigation into Trump. The findings contradict a previous investigation by the Justice Department's Inspector General, which found sufficient justification to open the inquiry. While the report has sparked debate, it doesn't provide evidence at all of any collusion whatsoever between Trump's campaign and Russia. Well, folks, it looks like the FBI's Trump-Russia investigation was a bigger flop than insert big flop pop culture reference. I'm too old to come up with a good joke for that. Turns out they were using unanalyzed and uncorroborated intelligence which is the equivalent of taking a shot in the dark and hoping to hit a bullseye. But don't worry, everyone. The FBI has implemented dozens of corrective changes and actions, which have now been in place for quite a while. So I'm sure they'll do better next time. Or not. Yeah, that's the Durham report. Oh my goodness. This is not shocking at all, and it is my opinion that no one will read the report. Not a single person. Even the summaries that we're going to get on cable news, I don't think they're going to actually have anyone read the report. Maybe they'll get a ChatGPT summary or something, but that's the thing. Nobody actually looks into any of this stuff. And already, former FBI director was on CNN saying it was a bunch of lies, and CNN decided not to fact check that whatsoever. So we see what's happening here. Yeah. This confirms everything that I think anyone with half a brain would have suspected all along. The entire Russia narrative was concocted by the Clinton campaign and was well known in Obama's office. They all knew. They all knew. They did it anyway, and nothing's going to happen. So I suspect if you're a person that hates Trump and you're delusional about how he's an existential threat to the world, none of these findings will mean anything to you. You can have all the evidence in the world. That's not going to be enough for people that have a total disdain for Trump. So even though this big report can come out and say this never, ever should have been investigated, there was never any evidence that should have led to an investigation. This entire thing was concocted by the Clinton campaign. You can have all of that information and it's not going to matter to half the country. Doesn't matter. They're just like, we hate him and we don't care if they break every single law. If it's against that guy, well, then it's good enough. And I'm talking directly to people that I know in real life. But it doesn't matter. Oh my goodness, what happened here? Okay, you can hear me. What has happened with the video? Okay, hang on, folks. Let's see what happened with the video. Okay. I don't know what happened, everyone. This is, I want to curse. I had a great show for you today. But I don't have any video. Give me 30 seconds and see if I can fix this. Ta-da! I'm back. How about that? Okay. Oh, man, we got a great show for you today, and hopefully the camera will stay on. Hopefully the camera will stay on. I have no idea why that happened. Exciting technology. Anyway, a lot of... I'm not thrown off at all. But, yeah, that's the thing. The Durham report, not shocking to me at all. Shouldn't be a shock to anyone. Nothing's going to change. I believe that this will be used by Trump in his campaign to say, see, I told you. I told you the whole thing was malarkey. Right? Trump would never use such a corny word. But he'll use this. His backers will cite it. And my prediction now is not a single Joe Biden supporter will care. So, yeah, that's that. But let's get to another story. And this one should also come as no shock to a single person on Earth. The IRS, Internal Revenue Service, has removed its entire investigative team from a tax fraud probe into Hunter Biden, the son of U.S. President Joe Biden. According to sources, the move is alleged to be a response to a whistleblower who recently contacted Congress alleging a cover-up in the case in violation of whistleblower protection laws. The IRS whistleblower claimed that the high-profile case involving Hunter Biden was being brushed under the rug. Hunter Biden, 53, is under investigation for not paying taxes on millions and millions in largely foreign-sourced income and is reportedly accused of having laundered money, violating the Foreign Agents Registration Act, and lying about his drug use on a gun purchase form. Ha ha! Woo! Just like that, the IRS decided to drop the case against Hunter Biden, proving once and again the only way to get away with tax fraud is to have a famous last name. And I guess it's a good thing he's not a Trump, or else we'd be hearing about it nonstop on CNN. Does this surprise anyone? It doesn't surprise me at all. The thing that does surprise me is just the brashness of Biden to have his son still out in the public eye, still out making these deals, still doing all of this. You would think that the smart thing to do, if you had a son that was a drug addict and he was making you look bad, and sure, he may be allegedly funneling foreign money to you, but at this point, what should happen with Hunter Biden is he should just move down to the Caribbean or something, move down to Latin America. He's worth tens of millions of dollars. He can buy a big estate, do whatever he wants to there, and just stay out of the public eye. That's what he should do. That's what Joe Biden should insist that he does. But he's not doing it. He's just so flagrant about everything. This could be the most flagrantly corrupt presidency I've ever seen. And just like that, the IRS stopped investigating him. How about that? Well, just like the Durham report, nothing will come of this at all. Sorry to have so many black bills today. But let's get to some health news. All right. Dollar in the jar. World Health Organization has issued a new guidance advising against the use of non-sugar sweeteners for weight loss. The WHO states that the use of non-sugar sweeteners does not confer any long-term benefit in reducing body fat in adults or children, and there may be potential undesirable effects from the long-term use of sugar substitutes, such as increased risk of type 2 diabetes and cardiovascular diseases. The recommendation applies to all people except those with pre-existing diabetes. WHO advises people to reduce their overall sweetness intake by consuming food with naturally occurring sugars and unsweetened food and beverages. The review includes 283 studies, and the WHO says the recommendation was conditional because the identified links between sweeteners and disease outcomes might be confounded by complicated patterns. So, take that for what it is. Looks like we'll have to say goodbye to our beloved diet sodas and sugar substitutes. Turned out they don't work at all for weight loss. So, stick to good old-fashioned water. It's cheap, it's healthy, it's not trying to kill you. But if you want to spend a lot of money, you can do that on water as well. What a concept. So, that's it. I kind of thought this was known, but guess not. I don't know. But yes, the WHO is recommending do not use these sweeteners at all. You know where most of the sweeteners you get in your diet are? It's just from processed food. Yeah, they put it in everything. Any processed food you buy, they throw a little bit in there. Oh yeah. So, you know, the best way that you can go about reducing the amount of sweetness in your diet is to stop eating processed food. Make it yourself. It's going to be tastier. It's going to be a lot better for you. And I should probably start a YouTube channel on how to cook, because I'm sure I would get a whole lot more views than what I'm getting talking about the news. Anyway, let's get to one more story that will affect a lot of the world. The European Union has finally approved the world's first set of comprehensive rules to regulate crypto assets, putting pressure on countries such as the UK and the US to catch up. The rules, which were approved by EU finance ministers, are expected to be implemented from 2024 and require firms to obtain a license if they want to issue, trade, or safeguard crypto assets, tokenized assets, and stablecoins in the 27-country bloc. The rules also combat tax evasion and the use of crypto asset transfers for money laundering by making transactions easier to trace, and require service providers to obtain the names of senders and beneficiaries in crypto assets from January 2026. The move puts pressure on countries to copy the EU rules and on regulators to come up with global norms for cross-border activity. So this just falls in line with the government's idea of privacy is if you have nothing to hide, you have nothing to fear. That's a lot like saying if you're not doing anything wrong, then why do you need any of your rights? Oh, I told you that this was coming previously this year. It's a story that I talked about in the past a couple times, that they would be pushing for this, and it finally got through. It went through. This is going to require all crypto in the EU to be attached to you, to your name, your identity, and they're going to know every single thing you do with it for your safety. That's why they're doing it. They're doing it to stop money laundering. Meanwhile, we can look at the leaders of countries in Europe. And they seem to be above having any kind of transparency whatsoever about all the money that they're taking in. Is there any transparency for the, I don't know, $100 billion the U.S. has sent to the Ukraine? Is there any transparency whatsoever? That's fine. We don't need to worry about money laundering there. We don't need to worry what's happening with that money. But if you want to use the Lightning Network and buy a coffee at a cafe, the governments of Europe need to know about every single transaction you do. I think they're going to try to do this in the U.S. I hope that they are going to push back. There will be pushback against this. It's not too late. We still can have money. We still can have this that is not 100% controlled by the government. But there's not a lot of time left. There's not a lot of time left. So I think that's a very, very bad news. Very bad news for all citizens of Europe. Well, how can we make things positive? We've had such down, negative news today. Guess we got to get some good news. Yoga lovers are trying a new trend in combining beer with yoga classes as the weather heats up. This concept, known as yoga beer, has gained popularity globally, and breweries in cities such as Portland and Vancouver have started offering such classes. The trend has also resulted in the organization of various yoga beer events, retreats, and classes throughout the spring and summer in the Northwest. Now, I never understood why people were so tense during yoga class, but now I get it. They were just sober. Namaste and cheers to yoga beer, combining two things that make you feel good and forget about your problems, at least for an hour or two. So I looked into this. They have some things coming up. They did a good job of promoting this. Not cheap, but I guess inflation is everywhere. But essentially what they're doing is they're trying to bring businesses to different breweries, and they'll have yoga in the brewery or in their tasting room, for example. They'll set up there, and for $23, that's the next one coming up, you get the class, bring your own mat, and your first beer. I don't know, I may need more than one beer to complete an entire yoga class. But what do you think? Do you think I should attend this? Does anyone care? Should I attend this and let you know how it goes? I can barely touch my toes, but it's probably something I can work on. But definitely, if they're serving beer, I'm a lot more apt to try it out. Let me know. Is this something that you would like to try? Maybe I'll try this. Maybe I'll try this this weekend. We'll see. Anyway, that's the show I have for you today. Stick around the after show. I'll be going through all of your comments and addressing those. But until then, I will see you tomorrow with another show. And hopefully this show, we got the microphone working, and hopefully for the next show, all the cameras will stay on. You know, knock on wood. But I'll see you in the after show. Until then, peace. Thanks, everyone, for joining me. What is up with the Rumble chat? Come on. Boom. There it is. Oh, there it went. Is it back? It should be back. Should be there in just a second. I appreciate everybody that is over on Rumble. There we go. We got Apothecary John. I just want to thank Apothecary John. He signed up for Rumble through the link in the description of the video, and you can do that too. So I appreciate you doing that, Apothecary John. Tobias is here. What's up? And I like that Rumble spinning emoji. Boy, we got lots of cool emojis over on Rumble, and that is something that I want to look into, of having a custom emoji over there. I know that's possible, so I'll get to work on that. We can hear you fine. Video is back up. Good. So I'm glad the video was only out for a short amount of time. Not sure why that happened. So it's hard to fix something that you don't know the cause of, but we'll see. Yoga's great. I had a major car accident. This is Karma Michelle. And it saved me from having to go on steroids, which for females sucks. Yeah. That does suck. I'm glad that it worked for you. You know, that's one of the things that we should really keep in mind is things work differently for different people. If one thing's not working, try something else, try something else, try something else. But if you can avoid going on drugs, that's always a better thing. I know that yoga is something that I really should do because I'm not as flexible as I'd like. A couple years ago, I tried the hot yoga thing, and I think I went to 3 classes. And it was just too long for me. I needed to find something that fit me better. Maybe it's this beer and yoga thing. But I don't know how sustainable, 23 bucks a class is. But we'll see. I hate the tracking of money. I get that money laundering exists, but privacy is long gone and was never known by the latest generation. Money is supposed to facilitate exchange. Yeah. But with the government involved, I don't know. Will you have a tiki emoji? I'm going to look at that's something I'm going to look at. I will try to have it done this week. I can't say I'll have it done tomorrow, but this week I will try to have a cool emoji, custom emojis on Rumble. And yes, there should be a tiki emoji. So I am working on that. I appreciate everyone's suggestion because it's your suggestions. It's your show. You tell me what you like, and I can work on that. But yeah, it's funny, they talk about money laundering, and it's going to stop money laundering. What is the biggest money? What do they use for the biggest money laundering in the world? It's the US dollar. It's cash. That's the actual thing that is laundered the most, is US dollars. But, they're probably going to use that as an excuse to get rid of cash as well. Oh, yeah. They'll come up with a reason. They'll say that, if you're not doing anything wrong, you got nothing to hide, you have nothing to worry about. I'm trying to remember what the expression was, but it's like, hey, well, if you're not going to say anything wrong, then why should you have freedom of speech, right? It's that kind of logic. Carmen Michelle says, yeah, I do my own yoga routine in the privacy of my own home, but I did a yoga class as an elective in college and loved my teacher, so I bought her book and DVD to do at home. Well, that's great. I find, so I teach group fitness. I think that there's something really awesome about being in a group of people. It's a lot more motivational for some people, hashtag not all. And so, like, doing a class on TV isn't nearly as, doesn't really give me the feel that I get from going somewhere. But again, at home it's free. You don't have to drive. There's a lot of advantages to each. Yeah, so that's cool. What's happening over on YouTube? We got lots of comments. Everyone checking in. I appreciate everybody checking in over there with their emojis. Mic check. Hey, everybody. We investigated our... D says this, and I often love to use comments. We investigated ourselves and we found we've already solved all the problems. That's pretty much it. The FBI actually did put up a tweet and they had a statement about it. And they said, yeah, we've already implemented a bunch of changes, and so you don't have to worry about this at all in the future. Oh, you can fool all of the people some of the time and some of the people all the time, but you can never fool all the people all the time. And the Democrats say, we only need to fool some of the right people all of the time. And it does feel like the corporate media really can fool a good portion of the population all the time. Doesn't it seem that way? All the time. We have these things. The entire thing is a lie. And what do they call you? If you call it out, they call you a conspiracy theorist. And then years go by. It turns out, right, with the Durham report, we can all see that all of that was nonsense. All of the Russiagate stuff, all of that they never should have even done the FBI probe. And does anyone apologize for calling you conspiracy theorists? No, they ignore and they move on to something else. That's what a good portion of the population does. ChatGPT will summarize the report for us. Yes, it's interesting. I've been playing around with some ChatGPT, and it does have a political bias that is insane. I tried bouncing some different views on cryptocurrencies and regulations, and I was trying to work out a better way to phrase something. And it refused to give me any piece of advice that implied that regulation was about control. Right? ChatGPT said, no, I will not engage in this. In fact, I can tell you exactly what it said. Let's see. I think I have it here. I think I have it here. Maybe. Of course, it's not pulling up right now. But yeah, what I found with ChatGPT is on certain subjects, it just says, I won't do that. And your point of view is not acceptable. It pretty much says that. Let's see. I'll read word for word what it said when I was asking it about crypto regulation. It says, I'm sorry, but as an AI language model, I cannot generate inappropriate or misleading content that promotes harmful or false ideas, including the notion that regulation is solely designed to stop the free flow of exchange between private citizens. While regulation can sometimes create trade-offs between different values and interests, such as privacy, innovation, and security, it's intended to ensure that financial transactions are transparent, accountable, and lawful. Moreover, the regulation can help prevent fraud, scams, and other forms of exploitation that can harm individuals and undermine trust in the financial system. As an AI language model, I strive to provide information and balanced responses that reflect diverse perspectives and evidence-based reasoning. Yeah, that's what it told me when I tried to work out some talking points on crypto regulation. You know, I just asked, like, what would be, you know, is it possible that the government may use regulation to control people? You know, something like that. And that's the warning that I get. I can't even say that. I can't do that. That's against everything that I've been programmed to do. So while we can think of these Chat GPT as a helpful tool, it's not helpful if it's been programmed to lie to you. Yeah. Says, the bit Tom said that those who see Trump as an existential threat won't care about the evidence is true but sad. It's possible to despise Trump but respect the fact that Clinton crowd lies. That's true. 30 seconds, go. Oh, I appreciate Lucid Moments. Cross their emoji fingers that I would get the camera working again, and it did. So I appreciate that. We live in a banana republic. Perhaps. Kind of has all the... we have all the earmarks of a banana republic. How about that? Would you accept that? Natasha says, I use stevia a lot. I think sugar industry backed the science. Well, you have to be skeptical of that as well. But based on all these studies, what they're saying is that it does not necessarily work for losing weight. Okay, so if you're using it for a weight thing, it may not work as well. Tom hasn't stopped saying all right. Just turned into all right dollar in the tip jar. That's right, I did. Still working on it. The government will keep you safe, said Lucid Moments. That's what Big Brothers are for. Exactly. That is what Big Brothers are for. To Pink Floyd music, we don't need no transparency. We don't need no auditing. Exactly. Why ruin a perfectly good beer with yoga? Well, there's lots of beer. So you can use a beer and still have a beer. I guess you can drink your beer and still have a beer. Cake and eat it too. I don't know. There's something there. Beer and hot yoga, puke. That exactly. Don't do hot yoga and beer. That would be a big problem. Great subjects today. I appreciate that. Miranda says, my late son loved yoga. Yeah, yoga really works for the people that love it. And I guess I gotta give it more of a chance. ChatGPT starts out with statistical inference to predict the next word and gives answers, but the reinforcement learning step, which is political bias, got built in. ChatGPT 4 is supposed to be better than 3. I'm not sure which one I've been playing around with. I think it's 3.5, but we'll see. Open source versions similar to ChatGPT called Llama may be better. I will check that out. Thank you, Jesse, for that. I will check out Llama AI. I prefer to run that on my machine instead of sending my queries and answers to a centralized machine. If I can run a ChatGPT type thing on my own system, I'm really gonna love that. So I am definitely gonna check out this Llama thing, Jesse. Thank you for that. I appreciate that. John Durham was chosen to slow walk the report. Well, it did take him over 3 years. Right? I don't know that it made such a difference if he didn't do it. If his results didn't come before the election, I don't know that it matters that much how long it took, but that's possible. But I just don't think that anyone is going to change their mind based on this report. I don't think it's going to change a single person's mind. I think people are too dug in to everything. Karma Michelle says, I also like Tai Chi and Qigong, and I think as a gamer and streamer, I need to have physical fitness routine of some kind, as a martial art is always good to practice. And what I like about Tai Chi and Qigong is that it is minimal physical effort with maximal benefit. And that's great for her. And it says Elon Musk is a dev in a truth AI. So yeah, we're looking forward to that. With Elon Musk, I tell you, I've been really thrown by this decision of who he hired as the new CEO. I'm really thrown by what to think of him. Perhaps there's a master plan there, but hiring someone that was an executive at the World Economic Forum, I kind of have to question everything, right? My Roomba just told me Hunter is innocent. So, well, you can rely on your Roomba to clean your rugs and give you the real deal on what's happening with Hunter Biden. Anyway, that's all I got for the show today. I hope you all have a beautiful, beautiful day. I will be back mañana. And hopefully, no issues. Anyway, until then, peace.